Okay, so it seems like there's been a pretty sad thing that has kind of come from a very explosive and viral post that you guys have probably seen and we talked about on this channel before. And obviously it comes from Essie. Essie, you know, if you haven't seen her posts, essentially she's been doing these predictions whenever it comes to the World Cup. She's been putting on shirts and saying that she's supporting one of these teams and whatever. And 9 times out of 10, they usually lose, right? It's essentially a curse. And a lot of people have been kind of joining in on it. Even people outside of VTubing have been, you know, enjoying the kind of fun that she's been having with it. She's, you know, gained a lot of popularity from that, right? And again, of course, as I said, it's a curse. So, you know, usually the team that she puts the shirt on loses. And a lot of people, of course, well, you know, they aren't so normal. So you can see where the problems are going to start to arise and what has kind of happened recently. So if you guys don't know, obviously she put out this post recently saying England, England, please. Obviously putting on an England shirt, and guess what? England lost. I know, it sucks. Yeah. But of course, you know, it's one of these things where, you know, she's just doing it as a bit of fun and whatever. But recently she actually put out a post a couple of hours later after the game had finished, saying, I think Mufachan will retire from World Cup posting for the rest of the cup, as people do not know how to be kind. Thank you for all the silly clips and arts and memes that have come from it though. Saying I still do watch-alongs, but no more than that. Said, and I'm okay, haha, thank you for the concern. It's for my own safety at this point, lol. So she seems to be having quite a bit of fun. She doesn't seem to be like too concerned about it, but she is saying that she, you know, she's kind of, you know, fearing for her own safety, like continuing to post these, right? There's only one more match left anyways, so of course it's the final, and I think that if she does do the final one, I think it could turn into something even worse, right? Because we know how relentless a lot of the fans on both sides, Spain and Argentina, can be. And I think, yeah, it probably won't be so good if she ended up, you know, cursing one of them and they did lose, right? A lot of people saying, I hope at least you had enjoyed this little journey. People like joy and whimsy, and it's very sad. I, for one, am happy that I've been introduced to you, and I likely wouldn't have even watched tonight's game if you didn't support England, Lamau. But it's the internet. There will always be rude people. Don't let them stop you from posting. So, yeah, I mean, you know, it is the internet. There's always going to be people that dislike you, and especially if you're doing stuff like this. Of course, Essie doesn't have any spiritual powers where she can actually curse a team. It's just been a bit of a joke. It just seems to be like one huge coincidence that keeps on happening, right? So again, people actually genuinely blaming her and going towards her, I think it's just crazy, right? And there's been more posts on her alts and stuff too, saying the harassment is low-key, hashtag too much, to the point where my Discord is getting spammed and my email is too. So I think I'm done with posting about the World Cup. I'll still do a watch along, but I think it's better if I stop for safety reasons. Haha. So yeah, of course, it seems like, you know, Discord's being spammed, to emails being spammed, and again, it is pretty just, you know, gross to see that a lot of people are taking this so seriously and are doing this kind of stuff to her, right? I'm saying this low-key was my concern when you were going viral, saying weird how people get so bent out of shape over their teams losing. Leave it to England to be the ones to ruin the fun. Again, I don't think it's an England thing. I think she has been receiving hate, you know, continuously, but I think maybe it's gotten a bit too much at this point. So yeah, obviously a lot of people saying wear the Argentina jersey or we'll dox you, which obviously is very, very sad. The reminder that it's just 22 people kicking around a ball. People take this football stuff way too seriously. So yeah, obviously a lot of people also just being like, yo, what the hell? Saying, I know it's one big joke, but every team I've supported has been for real. I don't root for teams because I want to lose. I want them to lose, please. I'm just a sheep with an incredibly horrid luck. So yeah, and then of course here's another one saying, so things like this, please don't do. And obviously it's, yes, I'm spamming the email saying, I know exactly what you are. You know, this is you. Saying, taking my email out of the bio because I keep getting spammed. If businesses want to reach out to me in other places to find my contact, saying, yeah, present WTF, this is why we can't have fun. So sorry people are being like this. What a loser. It's never that serious. Saying, absolutely mentally challenged. Holy, who actually is that dumb and goes out of their way to harass you like that over a game? It's not like you actually influence this. They can differentiate reality and fiction. I'm so upset on your behalf. Screw them. So yeah, obviously a lot of people supporting Essie, and you know, it is just kind of sad that this is kind of what it's turned into. and it has to come to an end in this way because it has been fun, right? You know, I think a lot of the memes and stuff that have come from this and a lot of people talking about it has been very, very fun. But I think that, yeah, whenever people do this kind of stuff, it's just like, okay, well, like, why are we doing this, right? Nobody cares that much. It's just, you know, it's a game of football at the end of the day. It's really not that big of a deal. But obviously some people think it is, right? You're saying, thank you for the fun memes. Has been the favorite part of my World Cup, for real. Gave me so much material and inspiration to shitpost with. And thanks for the last SE, saying, well, it was fun though. Thank you. Saying, legend, thank you for the generational run. You made this World Cup a lot more fun, SE. Saying, it's not her fault. Blame this guy. He's literally from the future. Obviously, yeah, some random guy on Twitter, I guess. Saying, take care, SE. People get very heated over sports. I think you did your best, taking it in a light-hearted manner with whatever, fun and joy. So yeah, obviously, you know, it is just one of these sad things, right? But I hope that Essie can find, you know, some new stuff to do, and can continue this kind of momentum that she's built up, I guess, from this trend, right? Because it has been very, very, you know, it's been very, very popular, and I hope that, you know, it doesn't like fall off or anything, because again, she seems like a very nice person, and yeah, she doesn't deserve any of the hate that she's been getting recently, because as I said, at the end of the day, it's just a game. And if anything, I think this has done more for VTubers and kind of VTuber fans in terms of getting them into football and sports and things like that, because I think a lot of people that, you know, haven't, you know, don't really know much about the World Cup or football have gotten into it due to Essie, and seeing a lot of the memes that have been going around from her, and people have been kind of interested to go, oh, you know, what is that, you know, and they also get involved and get really what do you call it, invested within it, which is cool. You know, as someone who is a football fan before a VTuber fan, yes, I'm sorry, football existed before VTubers, and I was a football fan before VTubers became a thing. So yeah, of course, it is you know, cool to see so many people, especially in a space that's like similar to me, getting involved in it, right? Because VTubers and football are kind of like that, right? You know, they're not connected, but you know, with Essie, it's kind of just connected the two, which I think is cool, right? I think that's cool as someone who is a fan of both. So yeah, hopefully we can see maybe some different kind of football posts in the future. You never know. I don't know if she will. I'm assuming maybe not, because you know, obviously a lot of this harassment has been related to football. But again, we'll have to see. But hopefully she does, you know, good in the future, right? But yeah, as she says, she will be continuing doing watch-alongs and stuff. She just won't be doing the prediction thing like she usually does. So yeah, obviously that's kind of sad, but that's just how it is. And to be honest, you know, that's fair enough if that's going to keep her safe, right? But yeah, that's essentially all I got for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameSubs, use my code Kaza, get 10% off. Again, they've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.